Good morning. It's Monday and the day begins, or the week begins, the work begins again. Wanted to challenge myself to put out much more content than I have been so far. I try to record like once a day, once every 2-3 days when I'm walking somewhere, but I want to challenge myself to record every single time I go somewhere. So 2-3 things that I put out a day and see how that works, because I need to get better at it. I need to practice, and there's no practice better than just doing. Less talking, more doing. In this case, the doing is the talking. This week is going to be tremendous. Last week was very difficult. I was in the office on Saturday and on Sunday, and it was very difficult. Just the creative juices weren't flowing. Design was very difficult to execute. So it was a bit of a touch and go, a bit of a push and pull for me, but still got something done. But today is a different day. I'm feeling creative, feeling a lot of things can be done rapidly. So something interesting that's happening is that I'm really trying to understand how to fill the position of a designer at Media Day. There's basically right now, it's a small company still. Basically, we have really two positions right now that are fillable. You could be either a developer, that is someone that codes, that programs, does HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all that kind of stuff. Or you could be a designer, that is someone that loves typography, loves history, loves visual effects, loves graphical effects, layout, sort of architecture, hierarchy, symmetry, proportion, balance, all the classical values. And you're interested in, you appreciate and you're interested in learning more about that. You wouldn't mind reading the biography of Leonardo da Vinci, written in the 1740s or whatever. Like, you're willing to go down into the very depths of things and pull out the best of classical design. That's really a very, very difficult position to fill. Having enormous difficulties filling it. Tremendously difficult, tremendously, because nobody knows what I'm talking about. So you have to learn it from scratch, and you either love it or you don't. And I mean, I love it to death. That's why I'm happy to do it. But many people don't love that kind of design. They don't love classical design. They don't like classical art, period. And so a lot of contemporary stuff, a lot of abstract stuff, all of that is completely useless to me. I'm sorry if you do contemporary art. There's a low chance you will find a position at Media Day. But on the flip side, if you love classical art, there's a high chance. And so I've been iterating on how to fill that position, how to fill it better, how to find the people that not that know what to do. Nobody knows what to do, and nobody knows how to do it. But they may know they may at least love the process. They may at least enjoy the subject matter enough to learn and study, which is really what I'm asking for. And so had a guy come in last week that was very good at design. He was well trained in the basics and in the preliminary disciplines. He was good at layout, he was good at hierarchy, good at proportion, symmetry, and things like that. And so this week I'm bringing somebody else in as well for a week of a trial period, a bit of an apprenticeship, I'm going to start calling it, because I sit with them and I give them materials and I sit them for a week and we study things together. And have someone coming in this week to do the same. And she seems like she's a good candidate as well, so we'll see what she's like. And at the end of these 2 weeks, I'm going to compare the two this Friday and make a decision on the hire. Whereas with a developer, it's a much more simple process. It's almost a trivial process. You see someone at the interview, you see the skills, and it's either yes or no right away. There's no need to try per se. And with a designer, there's a lot of a need to try. So a lot of interview stuff, a lot of apprenticeship stuff this week, reading, studying books by SDN, by German, a little bit of Christopher Plantin, a little bit of Elsevier Publishing House, source books. Oh, Simon de Collines, of course, is a big one as well. And I'm gonna have this person, this candidate, come in and eventually perhaps learn these names. So, fun stuff. One question I often think about is, at what point do you release a piece of content? Especially now that I'm gonna try to really pressure myself to release a lot more than I'm used to, that I'm comfortable with. And granted, like, even what I've been doing up to now, that's been a tremendous pressure from before, when I used to do nothing at all as far as content or video recording of any kind. So that's been a level up, an upgrade. And now, starting today, I want to upgrade even further. But the challenge with putting out more content is, when do you consider it good enough? You know, the word good enough, quality, all of that stuff with this kind of YouTube content is a challenge, because you want to only put out what's best. You want to put out yourself in the best light and make yourself look as amazing as possible, which is, you know, of course, a vain thing to do, but I think everyone is trapped in that mindset. As soon as they turn on that video camera or that you know, photo capture. And so one of the things is just try to not think of it in that way. Try to not think of looking the best or being in the best light, because first of all, it doesn't really matter. Secondly, it's a bad way to think about it. It's not about vanity, and it should never be about vanity. And the third thing about it is, look, authentic beats pretty every time. And so it's better to just record and let the chips fall where they may, rather than try to prettify and be inauthentic and fake and create a reality that doesn't exist. But I think the most important thing of all is number 4, which is, I think the vanity thing is as important as well. But this number 4 point is, just putting yourself out there is in fact what you want to capture. You're not trying to capture and make, you know, a made-up version of yourself. You're trying to capture exactly what life is like. You're building the business, you're having thoughts, you're working, you're going through your daily routine, your work. And so whom are you fooling? Whom are you fooling when you look amazing and in a way that you don't look in real life? And so if you're doing a journal of your life, then do a journal. Don't do a cartoon of your life. And so I think accepting the fact that quality is not important, visual quality, and it's the content, the substance that matters, really opens up a lot. It frees you from this strain and the anxiety of making things look better than they really are. And so it's liberating, and I wanted to share that with myself, I guess, in the future, and with any of you that are watching this.